Hey Bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are making these really useful, super concentrated lemon rose facial cleansing drops. So this project was inspired by my recent trip to Australia. I took shampoo/body wash bars with me to Australia, and they are, in theory, excellent for traveling, but I found on that trip, because we were moving around quite a lot, going from place to place and rarely spending more than 2, maybe 3 nights in one place, and then also because Australia is quite humid, I found that the bars would sort of get wet and then they very rarely had a chance to fully dry out between the humidity and the fact that I would usually want to take a shower because it was really hot at least once a day, and so they never really got a chance to really fully dry out. And then I would put them back in their plastic baggie and go to the next place we were going, and I would pull them out of my bag in destination number 2, 3, 4, and it would just be this like sad squashed mess because the softness from the being wetness resulted in like mashed potato-y shampoo bar. So I kind of thought, how can I get the concentration of a solid detergent but without the this needs to dry or it suffers serious abuse factor? And so that's kind of how we ended up here. Solid cleansers, so things like surfactant bars or Syndet bars and bars of soap, are very concentrated, but we use very little of them because they're solid, right? So you kind of rub your hands around on them and you just pick up a very small amount of product, an imperceptible amount of product. And so that's how you can get away with it being that concentrated, is you use very little of it. So with this project, I thought we would make it very concentrated and then we would use the packaging to force us to use very little. And so that is why not only is this in a pretty small bottle because it's very concentrated, but I've got a orifice reducer dropper top on here. You could also use an eyedropper top. I did try treatment pumps as well. This is better. This dispenses less product and makes for a better experience. So I would definitely recommend this over the treatment pump option, which you'll sort of see in some of the photos on the blog, but I definitely changed to this because this is a better solution. You can just get 1 drop of product, and believe it or not, that's enough to wash your face with, which is pretty cool. Now, in order to keep this droppy, it needed to have a very low viscosity. As you can see here, it really just is basically as thick as water is, not thick at all. And in order to do that, we needed to make sure all of our ingredients were either thin liquids or water-soluble powders, so that everything just, creates a very thin liquid. So to that end, all of our surfactants are liquid. So we're using Amphosol CG, foaming silk, and Caprylyl and Capryl glucoside, which gives us, a nice liquidy blend. And then we're adding some panthenol and some hydrolyzed silk and some humectants, some sodium lactate and some glycerine. There's some really good stuff in here. And as you see, liquid. I did try a version of this originally using sodium cocoisothianate, which is solid, and it was not anywhere close to being droppable. It was like a semi-solid paste. So definitely stick with the liquid surfactants for this one so that you can get that droppy consistency that's so important. Just a reminder, as always, there is an accompanying blog post for this recipe, and there's a lot more information about why I chose different ingredients and what's going on in the formula there. So please go down to the description box and click through. There's also a big list of information about substitutions at the end of the recipe. So chances are, if you have a question, it is answered there, and you'll get your answer pretty much immediately if you just go down and click the link. So yes, that's a thing that you should do. But this cleanser is crazy easy to make, doesn't require any heating. Just basically put everything in a container and stir it together and pour it, and then you're done. So let's go do that. This is really easy. We're just gonna measure everything into here and combine. So we're gonna start with 15 grams of Amphosol CG, 6 grams of foaming silk, 3 grams of Caprylyl and Capryl glucoside, 1.2 grams of panthenol, 0.6 grams of hydrolyzed silk, 0.6 grams vegetable glycerin, 0.6 grams sodium lactate, 0.15 grams liquid germall plus, and 0.36 grams fragrance of your choice. So this time around I'm using a new to me fragrance called Rosewater Lemonade from Windy Point Soap Making Supplies here in Calgary. But if you would like to use essential oils, I have outlined an alternative for that on the blog, or you could use a different fragrance of your choice. And last but not least, 2.7 grams of distilled water. Once we've got everything measured out into our beaker, it's time to give it a mix. So this is a mini mixer or a Badger Airbrush Co. Paint mixer, and I got this from Lotion Crafter. And now we will decant it into our bottle. So this is a 30 milliliter bottle, and the lid is fitted with an orifice reducer that will allow us to dispense this 1 drop at a time, which is exactly what we want. You could also use an eyedropper topper. We'll screw that in, and as you push down, it will force the little sealing ridge over the bottom of the threading and pushes the orifice reducer into place. And then when we twist it off to open it for the first time, that'll snap there, the seal there, and there you go. Now I wanted to show you what it looks like when you use these, because it's a pretty low visual impact, but they're very, very effective. So you're just going to need 1 drop. And when you get a little bit of water in there, honestly, with 1 drop, you're not going to get a bunch of lather, but you can 100% feel that there's something soapy going on in there, and you can see some low bubbles, and that's perfect for just washing your face with. I can definitely feel when we rinse this off, I got that bit of that squeaky clean sensation going on, so I'd really advise you not to go heavy-handed on the drops. And there you go, you just made some rose and lemon facial cleansing drops. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, and do remember to go down to the description box below the video and click through to the blog, where you'll find the full written recipe and a ton more information. So if you have any questions, please check there first. Chances are you'll find your answer there. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.